Hi there everybody, hope everybody's keeping well out there. On today's video I have this Nissan Note. It's a 2009. Now this video is not exactly about repairing anything, but it's more to do with the fitting rear parking sensors. And I'll just put it up, whether it may help somebody or not, but if it does, then it's a benefit for somebody that wants to fit parking sensors on their car. So on one of my previous videos I show how to remove the rear bumper. On this video I will just give you a few tips on how I'm fitting the sensors, and that may help you. The actual sensors, I bought them from a company called Steelmate. Let's have a look. This company here, Steelmate. So have a look on the internet. This particular one is a dual purpose, so it can be used on the rear or the front, or you can fit rear ones and front ones. So in this case I'm just fitting rear ones. Now if you follow the video on removing the bumper, you will then need access to this section here and that section there, if you sort of follow more or less what I'm doing, but you can do your own way as well. This cover here is sitting here, and that literally pops up. You have to pop it upwards and it just unplugs. It doesn't have any screws or bolts. This other one has two 10mm bolts, one there and one there, and they are covered with a little cover like this, 10mm bolts. And also this little thing here, like a clip, like this one here. Again, that pops out. It's just plugged in. And if you get that out, you'll be able to unplug this. You got three like button type of clips there that plug into there, so you can pop that out, and this one here, and this cover will open. That will give you access in there. And another thing is you have to connect the sensor to the reverse light. So I'm using the reverse light on this end. That's the cluster there. That cluster again has two 10mm bolts. If you remove the two 10mm bolts, you'll get the cluster out, and then you can remove the bulbs from it, so you can remove the cluster. These just twist anti-clockwise and come out, three of them. This here is the reverse light, and the green and red wire will be our positive. That's the one we want to use, because when we engage reverse, this becomes live and it switches on the system. So far what I've done is I got a little box here. I plugged in 1, 2, 3 and 4 sensors, which are numbered A, B, C and D. These 4 cables, I ran them through these holes here. So they all come out. All 4 cables come out from that hole, and they run along here, behind here, from in here, and they come out here, and I put them in through this hole. So I'm just reusing the original plug that was there. So I just remove this in order to push this through. That cable there is used for the fog light. The fog light is connected to the bumper, so you can just go ahead and reuse the same hole there. That way you don't have to be drilling any holes or anything on the car. And then we can just recover this. You will find that this is taped with some of this masking tape. So I remove the masking tape in order to really have access to the hole. And then the other tip is I put the letters on each one of these cable sensors, so I know which one is which, because you want to have A and D. A and D are on the outside, so D will be on this side and A will be on that side, and then we're gonna have B and C. So here are the holes, so that will be A, B, C, D. And again, you can use a measuring tape obviously to measure where you're going to drill your holes, and you can stick this tape to help you draw and make your lines. So what I did is here's the fog light in there. I measured the fog light, and I measured half, so half here will be exactly half of the bumper, and from this point on you can measure the separation of the sensors. So it's recommended to have 45 centimeters from here to here. So half of 45 is 22 and a half. So you measure from here 22 and a half, 22 and a half. However, 22 and a half is here. And I did it a little bit longer, because if I measure 45 from here to here, it would be right on this other light, which that wouldn't be very helpful. So I made it a little bit longer. I think I made it up to 27 or so, and then measured another more or less 50 from here to there. You just need to be a little bit creative to make your holes, and then obviously measure the distance from there to have exact the same. So if you measure 1.5 inches here, do the same here, and sort of same here. It might be a little bit longer here or a little bit less. Try to get it on the center basically. All of that is given on your instruction leaflet, what they recommend and what they don't recommend, because if you put them too close, they could interfere with each other basically. And another thing is they also tell you to measure your bumper where you're gonna put them. So if they are too low, if you put the sensors, if I put these sensors here, they may start picking up on the ground. So they may sense the ground all the time, and that wouldn't be helpful because they'll be beeping all the time. If you put them too high, they might be at an angle where they pick up other things. So that's why it's important to measure the recommended measurements, and then give and take a centimeter or so. So there it says height 45 centimeters up to, or more than 45 centimeters or less than 65 basically. So you have a gap of 20 centimeters to play with. So again, be sensible. They also show you more or less how to measure the distance here, so you can get your sensors there. And then in terms of connecting this at the back here, if you're doing the rear like I am, the rear here, so you have 4 sensors, and then you have, this is the siren, the little siren that beeps, You can add, it is optional, some little LEDs that show you the distance as well, a visual thing, but I'm not fitting one this time, so I'm just doing the speaker. And then what it says here, the white wire not used, so I cut it, not gonna be using it. There it is. I cut that wire, the rest of it is over there. Then it says connect the pink and red wire together before the fuse and connect that cable to the reverse light. So what I've done is I cut the pink wire right here and I connected it to the red wire at this point here. Now I need to just insulate that because I also soldered a little bit. I soldered it so it's secure. And then the red wire, that red wire goes through here, up here, and comes out here. So I actually fed the whole thing through here originally, because trying to get a little red wire at this end would be a bit of a hassle. So this red wire, the fuse is there. As you can see, the fuse is there. So the pink wire is connected to this cable here, goes through the fuse together with the red wire, and then connects to the reverse light, which, as I mentioned earlier, is the green and red cable here. And also I did a little cut there and solder that in there, and then I'm going to insulate that as well. And then that's pretty much as far as your connection goes with the wires. Now we need to find an earth. We have a black wire there. This black wire will connect it to some body part, an earth. So we'll have an earth, and then we'll have live from the reverse. That will switch on the machine. This simply plugs into here, and in fact I could plug it in already this way. Right, that plugged in there, and this little box you will find also on your, oops, it's come off, I'll have to plug it in your box. You'll find a double sticky tape. You stick it to the back of this box, and then we're going to stick this somewhere in there so it's out of the way. And my speaker will also go somewhere in there because I don't want it to be too loud. Sometimes they're really loud and annoying. However, if you don't want to remove everything as I did, you could always try to run your box somewhere outside of the panels, but that is really more of a personal choice. So that's pretty much it, really. So I'm gonna look for an earth and show you where I can earth that, and show you that, and then I will accommodate everything in position, and I will show you, so give you ideas and tips. But however, you can follow your own initiative and fit these things the way, whichever way you want to. The sensors, you plug them into the bumper, and then if you number them like me, well, not number them but letter them, then you will know that D, this is D. It will go to this sensor here, and then you plug it into the sensor, and then we can tidy everything up with cable ties as well. So I'm gonna go ahead with that, and then I'll come back to it. Before I go ahead with that, you can also try and color code your sensors. So I got some paint from a paint shop. I got the color code from the car, and just been painting these sensors, which I think is done now really. It's quite a massive team just for that, but they get color coded, so looks a bit better than black. And then you can also buy some clear lacquer, and you can apply the clear lacquer to the sensors. Just a matter of spraying very lightly, and you'll be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and tidy all of this up to show you what it looks like tidy, because at the moment everything is everywhere and looks very messy. Even gets me going a bit mad, so I need to tidy up. Okay, so I kind of finished the installation here. I've put the sensors in, not fully in, because I painted them. I don't want to press on them and leave my finger, so I wanna let it dry. That's where they are. And the earth, so this is a siren, so I already plugged everything in. And let's have a look. So I got the box back there and everything is plugged in, and what I've done is I created a little, well, there was a hole here like this one. So like this hole, there was one there, and I just put a 10mm bolt with a clip there, and that's where I connected my earth. So that works perfectly. And the speaker here, it's got this little button so you can regulate the volume of it, because sometimes it can be a bit loud. And it's got a double sticky tape here as well. I'm gonna stick that in there, because like I said, I don't really like it to be too loud, but however you can still put it a little bit louder if need be. So I'm gonna put it back there, and I'm gonna shut this. That's gonna make it not to be too loud. However, some people put those speakers outside, so obviously if you really need to hear it a little bit loud, you can put it outside. And obviously some people suffer with hearing, so it would help to have it a bit loud, which means you can put it out here somewhere and you'll be able to hear it quite loud. So that's pretty much it really. Now I'm gonna refit everything back. That's on, and I'm gonna show you. I got the car on reverse at the moment. Just gonna put the ignition on, and you can hear the sensor. You can hear it working. So it's detecting me, but at the moment this sensor is detecting these things here and that one, those things over there. So you can see how well it's working. If I put my, so the distance at which point this starts beeping loud or constantly is about 20 centimeters from the sensor. Let's switch that off. So that's pretty much it really. So you can just make things tidy as much as you want. I'm tidying everything back there, putting cable ties and whatnot, and I'm gonna stick that speaker there, and that's it. So I hope this video helps. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.